Maria sprints for the door without paying, and I nearly yank Marina's arm out of its socket as we run to the exit. Other diners turn to watch us, but I barely notice them. That means they're gonna dine and dash again.
Amber, what the heck?
Her voice is shaky from being jolted around. I know where the treasure is. I yell behind me as I turn to look, and I see the trio exit the restaurant close behind us. Joe's carrying Tess on his back. I know where it is. I say it again to reassure myself. We reach the motorhome seconds after Maria and her crew reach theirs. I practically hurl Maria up and into her spot before I leap into my own. Not even bothering to buckle up, I hurry towards the road. Less than a minute, and we're already falling behind. I watch Maria's taillights as she speeds up the road, horn blaring and trying to scare away the cars unfortunate enough to be in her lane. I'm going as fast as I dare to, worried about cops that could be lurking around one of the bends on the road. But I can't let her out of my sights. There's no room to pass yet, but I have to watch for an opportunity. With one hand, Marina clutches the headrest bar on her seat. Then she leans over and past my face, nearly causing me to swerve from shock. What are you? She grabs my seatbelt and buckles me in, then she does the same for herself.
Okay, now that we're at least not gonna die if you hit something, can you tell me what exactly is happening?
She sounds a little frantic and a little curious. Okay, so you remember Balanced Rock? It wasn't one of the places that we visit earlier today, but it's one of the spots that's on the posters and a lot of the ads.
I think so. At least hearing about it.
There used to be another really famous rock right next to it, smaller but a similar shape and everything. They called it Chip Off the Old Block.
What do you mean used to be?
I was getting to that. A long time ago, like 50 years or something, it fell. Now you can't even tell it apart from the rest of the rocks on the ground.
50 years? So that was...
Her eyes go wide in understanding, a fact in which I look away from Maria's rear to take in.
Oh, still standing when the miner came through?
Yeah, exactly. I'll bet you anything he hid the treasure between Balanced Rock and what used to be Chip. I look over again to smile at her, only to see genuine admiration and awe in her face. Her eyes are wide and her mouth slightly open. Like always, I can't look at her for too long, or it starts to make me uncomfortable. Nothing I've said or done is that impressive. Even Maria knew about Chip. But instead of singing my praises again, she just faces ahead with a little smile. Then her face crumples up.
Amber!
I see it. A semi is being pulling out into the road ahead of us. There's no passing lane, so I can't get around him that way. Damn it. I tap the brakes since I'll have to stop and wait for him to get onto the highway. Ahead, I can still see Maria, but just barely. A few of the cars between us have exited, but her lead has grown. And so I make a quick, reckless decision. Hold on to something.
What are you?
I don't wait for her to finish the question since she grabs onto her seat as she asks it. To answer, I yank the wheel to the left and into the other lane, even though it's a no-pass zone. Headlights far ahead of us are speeding towards us, maybe a quarter mile away. Getting closer. A concrete barrier prevents me from going any further to the left. I smash the gas pedal onto the floor, putting all my weight on it. Maria begins to moan with dread at the ongoing car. It's a wordless sound, or maybe it's the start of my name. My heart is in my throat, and I can feel beads of sweat on my forehead. One slides down into my eye, but I can't wipe it away. We're even with the semi now, which seems to be stopping. He probably noticed me and is waiting for me to complete my illegal pass. The car ahead of us is close enough that I can see it through our headlight beams. It's a maroon SUV. They're braking as they approach, but I'm still accelerating, going so fast that I couldn't stop in time even if I wanted to. Like a missile, we shoot forward. I'm at least double the speed limit right now. We come even with the front of the semi, which is hardly rolling. The SUV has come to a complete stop, but there's barely any room between it and the semi now. And then suddenly we're past the cab of the truck. I wrench the wheel to the right, hard right, throwing us back in our lane. We zoom past the stopped SUV, which gives me a well-deserved horn blaring. The bassy sound of the semi's horn also booms behind us. But it doesn't matter because we're okay. We didn't die. A need to breathe hits me, and I realize that I've been holding it in.
Why are you doing this? I mean, I know you're competitive, but like, or you just steal it like a normal person.
Well, because I She just wants to beat Maria super badly, I guess.
Yeah, but like, why don't you just like let her get it? Like next time you cross paths, you like enter the motorhome, and then you just like dig through the things, and then like.
Because that's a dick move.
It's practical.
I guess. I sigh, adrenaline still coursing through me.
Oh my god, Amber!
Her voice cracks and she starts to laugh hysterically. I do too, laughing away the anxiety of that last half minute. It felt like much longer. And it's not entirely over yet. Don't get too comfy. Her hands shoot back to where she was hanging on.
Oh.
Just ahead, Maria still has a lead, but it's shrinking quickly. I wonder if she saw how I got caught up. Jamming the gas pedal down again, I start to narrow the distance even more. She takes the exit for Arches just a few seconds ahead of me. We blaze through the entry point, flashing our passes at rangers who barely have any time to check them. Even in the darkness, there's a lot of people on the sides of the road. I wonder if anyone else has had the same realization we did about Chip. Maria's starting to gain ground again, so I smash the accelerator farther down, but her motorhome is newer than mine, and it's hard for me to keep up. If I'm going to beat her there, I have to do it soon. I check to make sure that Maria is still holding on tight. She is. Just a few feet behind Maria's RV, I illegally swing into the other lane yet again. This is even more risky because of the way the road curves all over the canyon. An oncoming car could round a bend and just completely blindside us. Hope that doesn't happen. By pushing the RV to its absolute limits, I'm able to break even with Maria. Looking over, I can see a wild flare in her eyes, hair disheveled. Her expression changes to one of shock when she notices us beside her. I relish in the look of disbelief as I nudge the wheel to the right. There's a god-awful scraping as the motorhome brushes against Maria's. Her eyes, as well as Marina's, widen. Seconds after we pull apart, Maria's vehicle lurches towards us, and again there's a sound that makes me want to rip my ears off. I fight to keep control of the motorhome and stay on the road. Awestruck by bystanders as we pass by, but I hardly register them. Still neck and neck, we continue towards Balanced Rock. Though through insane luck or divine intervention or something, the road ahead is clear. I won't try to shove them off the road again, because there are now steep drop-offs that could actually be fatal. I'm with you, why are they doing this?
I mean, you said it yourself. Is this just how Kismesis be?
Yeah, I guess. But I do have something to gain an edge. Just arriving seconds before her isn't enough. I sigh. No, a sign, visible for just a split second, informs us that there are 5 miles to Balanced Rock. What might have been an arrow for the exit has been scruffled to illegibility. Maybe that's our chance. Up ahead, barely illuminated by a flickering lamp, the road splits into 2 directions. A sign in the middle is smashed and folded in on itself, probably the result of someone's reckless driving. One of these paths leads to Balanced Rock, but I don't know which. I'm willing to bet Maria doesn't either, though. From Marina's window, I can see Maria shoot me one final death glare before they rocket off down the exit. We stay on the other branch, though. I'm back in the proper lane now. Just gotta hope it's the right branch. As I start to calm down yet again, I realize my legs are shaking. Maria cranes around to watch Maria's vehicle, which is quickly disappearing into the murk. Once it's fully out of sight, she turns back to me, her face as white as her knuckles. You okay? Guilt stabs me. I may have seriously traumatized her, with 2 incidents within minutes of each other. After taking a deep breath, she unclenches her fists.
We never ever do that again. That was insane. Super insane. Like, my god, I thought I was gonna die.
Crazy insane. Got no brain. Insane on the membrane.
Wait. We die. I'm just imagining this now.
I don't think you would imagine stuff if you were dead, kid.
That's the kind of thing a dead person would say. Like in that one movie where it was all about the guy who could talk to dead people, except...
Fine, I'm 90% sure we're not dead then. Just don't
Yeah.
reference M. Night Shyamalan in Amber's presence.
Okay. Didn't see that movie.
What? I have not seen The Sixth Sense, personally.
Nice that they didn't spoil that movie for, like, those who were... How they didn't spoil, like, a 30-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Okay, 90%.
That's not... Oh.
That's not bad. And being a ghost might be kind of cool, too. You can spy on people without them knowing.
I'll keep that in mind if there's ever someone I want to haunt. Our voices are shaky, even though our conversation isn't serious. I keep checking the rear view, expecting to see the headlights of Maria approaching vengeance, but so far we're in the clear. Each passing minute, but that we don't see the rock itself, though, makes me worry that we took the wrong turn. Right on the verge of turning around and tailing Maria, another sign suddenly looms up ahead of us. We've reached Balance Rock. I slow down as we approach the parking area. Well, not empty. There are far fewer people here than there were at Doubled Arch earlier today. A good number of them look like they might just be sightseers, since they're standing around talking or looking at the stars instead of searching. Parking is easy since there are a lot of open spaces. When I stand up, my legs wobble. I stumble, grabbing Marina's shoulder for support. She smiles at me, but doesn't say anything. No more jokes to crack. It's time to get serious. I thought she meant get serious about the relationship, not the treasure hunting.
Get serious eventually, so,
yeah.
like... I'll hold on a little while longer.
Yeah. We grab our equipment and hurry out into the night air. Solid ground feels foreign after the rocketing motorhome. This must be what it feels like to return from a voyage at sea. Marina, the landlubber, doesn't seem to be having any trouble now that we're not barreling along the highway. The spring in her steps has returned, and I worry that she's going to bang the metal detectors against the ground as she half walks, half skips. Some of the other people watch us go, but no one follows or says anything. They're probably assuming we're just next in the line of failures. A line which would be pretty long, given how much trash and misplaced earth there is around here. Pangs of guilt remind me yet again of the broken brick at Canyon de Celli, and I make my umpteenth resolution to be more careful. Just ahead, Marina's come to a stop. Head tilted back, I can tell she's admiring Balanced Rock. It's certainly an impressive view. Someday, I'd like to take her back to these places we've gone, but without the pressure of the treasure hunt rushing us, just taking in the sights. I slow my steps a little, so I can keep watching her from behind. Maybe sensing me, she spins around and waves.
Hurry up!
Yelling, even though I'm close enough to hear her normal volume level. I pick up the pace once more.
Oh, where was Chip?
Over there, to the right. There's a large stone wall besides Balanced Rock itself, with a short slope between them. It was right at the edge of that little hill.
So, where that pile of rocks is now?
Yep, that's the spot. You can't tell that there used to be anything there, but I've seen pictures in the atlases Gramps kept around, or in the history books he liked to read. Compared to Balanced Rock, chip off the old block looked tiny, but it was actually a decent size. There's a pile of stones at the base that are probably Chip's remains. They're indistinguishable from the rest of the red rocks, though. Some are as big as my head, or even bigger. It's hard to tell if anyone else has picked through here, but since there aren't any shovel marks or holes, I'm guessing not.
Do we start?
I think for a moment. First, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. You check that side with the metal detector, and I'll check this one. We sweep over the ground between the hill where Chip once stood and the massive stone wall beside it. Nothing. Okay, that's pretty much what I expected. I lean my metal detector against the wall and go back to the pile of rocks. Just check all over the places that I uncover, okay? Marina nods, holding the detector at the ready. She reminds me of a surgeon about to perform an operation. I roll aside some of the rocks with my feet, but most are so big that I have to stoop down and use my hands. There are more of them than I thought, and I'm soon sweaty and sore.
Wanting help?
Nah, I'm panting. Just keep scanning. She does so, dutifully retracing my steps. Still nothing. After a couple of minutes, I stand up and take a swig from a water bottle. I'm glad I remembered to bring them this time. Marina sets down her metal detectors to do the same.
You think Tess and them are okay?
Why wouldn't they be?
You think Maria's gonna flip out when she realizes she took the wrong turn?
Probably. That's her fault, though.
You would have let her go down this side of the road.
Hey, I did what I had to do.
But you're never doing that again, okay?
If we get the next treasure too, I won't have to.
And we get it, you meanie.
Right, when? Only one more to go after this. One more frantic search and then... I drain my water bottle and crumple it before shoving it in my pocket. Break's over, back to work. I fought my back and resume moving rocks out of the way. I've been working from the outer edge of the rock pile inward, since they're more concentrated in the center. Like a shadow, Marina continues to stick to me, going where I go. Nearly 10 minutes of uninterrupted shuffling passed. By now, I'm expecting Maria to have caught up, or to get here soon. But she never arrives. Maybe she just gave up. Although knowing Maria, that's just wishful thinking. I've just finished moving a torso-sized rock when it happens. The metal detector begins to chirp, bright and earnest. Marina and I exchange a look, and I nod.
Look at the shovel!
It's leaning up against the wall. By the second metal detector, Marina grabs it, starts back towards me, then doubles back to set her detector aside as well. I move to take the shovel from her, but she holds it away, shaking her head.
Nuh-uh, you moved all the rocks.
Yeah, but She frowns at me, and I can tell this is an argument I won't win. Okay, be careful though, don't throw out your shoulder.
You know what I'm doing?
And she stabs at the ground like she's welding a salad fork. It bounces off with a jolt. You need to go at it with more of an angle, like you're trying to slide it into the ground. I move behind her and adjust her arms a little. Her shoulders are damp with sweat, though I'm drenched with it. She tenses up when I first touch her, but relaxes almost immediately. It's enough to make me
Fellas, it's a gated dick for treasure.
I mean, yes, it is. If you're these two, then it is, at least. It's enough to make me self-conscious, though, and I take a quick step back. Sorry. I'm mumbling.
Oh no, you're fine. You just surprised me.
Her voice is higher than usual. It's okay, you should have it now. Nodding, Marina jabs at the ground again. She scoops out a little bit of dirt and dumps it aside. Watching her dig is painful. Either the ground is hard or she's not strong enough to make fast progress. Whatever the reason, she's slow going, but she refuses my repeated offer to take over. So with my hands on my hips, I watch as the hole very slowly gets deeper. She's reached a depth of maybe a foot or so when the shovel thumps against something that isn't dirt. Our eyes instantly meet. I stoop down and brush a little bit of dirt away from the shovel blade. Sure enough, I can feel rough wood just under my fingertips.
That's it.
Yeah, it is. Now she forces the shovel towards me.
I don't want to mess it up.
Okay, look out. She steps back a couple of feet and leans forwards to watch. I scrape at the dirt under the spot that we hit, trying to find where the edges are. Once I reveal one corner, I start to dig off thin slices of dirt next to it. Soon the outline of the whole box is visible. I hear Marina suck in a sharp breath. Her heart is pounding with the same cautious excitement I felt at Shiprock. It hardly feels real, and yet, well, there's only 10% chance that I'm dead, and it isn't. I, I lift the box out of the ground with the blade of the shovel, and Marina plucks it off. It makes a familiar rattling sound as she moves it.
Amber?
But I hold up a dirty finger to my lips. Not yet. Looking back towards the parking lot, I can't tell if anyone has seen us. See us digging and find the treasure. Don't say anything until we get back to the car. She's a quivering leaf of excitement, but she manages to keep her mouth mostly shut for now. Not before hissing out an excited, Amber. I just smile, hoping that I look calm. Marina cradles the box in the crook of her arm like an infant, doing her best to keep it hidden from onlookers as we head back to the motorhome. She carries the shovel in her free hand, while I have both metal detectors. I don't even notice the soreness in my arms. That's not the first time. The excitement of sitting down in the front seat in front of the sealed box of gold feels fresh and new. This one feels heavier than the last one, and it rattles less, like there's not as much empty space. Without being asked, Marina retrieves the screwdriver and hammer that I've been using to smash the locks. She sets them down in front of me, but I offer them to her. Care to do the honors? But she takes them. Yeah, why not? Her face lightens up with a look of happiness that's worth more to me than the gold. If I'd known it was that big a deal to her, I'd have let her do this back at Shiprock. It takes her a couple of tries, but she bashes the lock off without even damaging the rest of the box. She looks to me to open it, but I shake my head. Nope, that's all you. But she shakes her head too.
We're together to find it, so we'll open it together.
And she places her hand over mine, guiding it to the lid.
Ready?
Yeah. She maneuvers my hand to flip the box open. It's full of dull-colored nuggets, like a moldy fast food meal. I take one out, bouncing it in my palm and feeling the heavy softness that's almost familiar by now. Then I pass it to Maria, who treats it with her usual reverence. She gently sets it back into the box and then smiles.
Pretty good at this whole treasure hunting thing, huh?
I shut the box and nod. Yeah, we're not bad.
Yeah, I guess a 2 out of 3 doesn't count as bad.